Over the weekend, my good friend and brother, Gandhi, became the Seun of Ogbomoso. A lot of people are perplexed. You know, it was Gandhi that I went to preach in his church. When I preached a powerful sermon in America. Powerful sermon. He wasn't around. He'd gone to New Jersey or somewhere. He told me to preach. I preached Jesus House. By the way, we started Jesus House, Pastor Tony and myself, in 1995 or 1996. It was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life, but we'll tell that story another day. But the house is one of the best redeemed churches in America today. So I went there, said, preach, 2 services. Preach the first service, preach. When I looked at all of them in America, that they had jackpot up and down, I said, come back to Nigeria. Nigeria is good. Nigeria is wonderful. We're doing very well. I said, look at me. Am I not well dressed? Do I not look good? Come back and let's rescue Nigeria. I've always been Nigerian secretary. Let's rescue Nigeria. Let's do Nigeria very well. So when Gandhi came after the first service, he wanted me to preach the second service. So he asked his people, the man that preached, did he preach well? He said, fantastic. Say, what did he preach? He said, we should all come back to Nigeria. We should come back to Nigeria. He said, yes. Is that what he said? He said, that's what he said. So when it was time to go for second service, he said, preach service. I said, Gandhi, what did I do? He said, you are not preaching this second service. I said, why? He said, you went to tell my people to go back to Nigeria? If they go, who's going to pay tithe? But he has become Seun of Ogbomoso. And people are saying, how can a pastor become a king? How can a pastor not become a king? Who should become a king if not a pastor? Who? Are we going to leave our kingship to idolatry? That's the position of influence and leadership. We're going to continue to leave it to idolatry. Now God is raising up. A few enlightened people who have the courage to go there. You are saying they shouldn't go because it's juju. He will go there and break the juju. That's what Gideon did. He went there and broke the juju. He will go there and break the juju and say, this thing that is juju, no more. The thing that is cultural, no problem. That's what we need. That's what we need. People need to understand these things. People need to understand these things. Before he was born, they had made him Seun of Ogbomoso. Before he was born. If you see him tall, stately, lanky, before he was born, they had made him Seun of Ogbomoso. I was one of the first people to tell him, Gandhi, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Because we're looking for righteousness in the right places. He will go there and break the idol worship. God give him the strength. God give him the courage. God give him the ability. God give him everything that he needs. That's what we want. We want those places transformed and changed. We want our government transformed and changed with righteous people. These days, righteous people, almost impossible for you to get to any place of power and strength. Almost impossible. The minute you start talking righteousness, they start saying to you, whoa, Pastor, don't come here and start talking all that nonsense. The poor people, God will sort them out. Let me take care of myself. And the poor people are suffering. Let us pray for him that God will give him the courage and the strength to do what he has to do, because he's now going to fight some major principalities and powers, rulers of darkness and wicked people in high places. But if God helps him and is able to change the thinking of his people. There's custom, there's tradition, there's idol worship. They're not the same. They're different. There's custom. Some things are customary. This morning, my little boy came, saw his grandmother, he prostrated. That's custom, not idol worship. There's custom, there's tradition, there's idol worship. You separate the three. You don't put them all together. One of the things that the British did was to make us demean, and destroy, and not like our customs. What we're suffering from is entrenched colonialism, where we think that everything African is bad and everything European is good. It was deliberate. Macaulay said it in 1835 to the British Parliament. He said, these people, they're so organized, they're so efficient, they're so strong, they're so capable. We can't conquer them unless we conquer their minds and make them feel that everything African is inferior and everything European is superior. And today, the general thinking amongst us, even people like myself, is that everything European is a bit better than everything African. We have to reprogram our minds. Can somebody hear what I'm saying? It's a great purpose, a purpose to nations, something greater than yourself. Your purpose must be bigger than yourself.